Yeah, everyone likes to tell you that you shouldn't speak about religion in public and in polite company or whatever people are polite. Um, I don't agree with that, especially because whenever I hear it, it's usually a Catholic saying it, and you always hear that Catholic guy. He's always like, "Oh, I'm not a Roman Catholic guy. Sometimes I do things that the Pope doesn't want me to." What he means is he cheats on his wife and he does other things like drugs and stuff. That's what they mean. It doesn't mean they don't obey the Pope. It just means that they party and do drugs and sometimes have promiscuity in their life. That's what it means. Um, I've never met any Catholics that did not obey the Pope. And unfortunately, the Pope is a terrible human being. I don't care if he is from Chicago. I don't care about Chicago at all. I have no respect for the Catholic Church. And it's not because I'm a Baptist, not because I'm Protestant or anything of that nature. It's 100% because every time we turn around, the Catholic Church is trying to, again, screw Europe. Every time. Every single time. It has been like that for like 300 years now. Every single time we turn around, the Catholic Pope and the church and the Catholic Church is just, either invading countries in Europe because they're not sufficiently religious enough or they don't pay the Catholic Church their tithes, their tithing, their taxes, their religious taxes. We're just not going to call it tithing anymore because tithing is voluntary, and the Catholic Church is not voluntary. It's mandatory. They will excommunicate you if you don't pay them. It's a fucking protection racket. Everybody fucking knows it. And not only is it a protection racket, they run the mafia. They run the fascists. They run all that stuff. All those people you see wearing all black on their videos on YouTube, they're all Catholics. Like whatever her name is that likes to use little black boys to rape people. She knows who she is. And I have no respect for Catholics. I don't care about the Catholic Church. I have no respect for the Catholic Church either. It's an outdated institution that has been terribly corrupted from originally being defender of Christendom in Europe to destroyer of Europe and anti-white, which is what it is now. It's anti-European, and I have no use for that myself because I am a European. I am white. I am 100% Dutch all the way back like 1400 years, something like that. I have no patience for Catholic arguments. I don't care about your church. And as far as I'm concerned, your religion doesn't exist. And I know you get all mad. I hate you. I hate you. You're a terrible human being. You're over here. You want to attack me, this, that, and the other thing. You're attacking Christians, like subjugating Christians. That's how the Catholic Church got its start. So, yeah, Charlemagne was a terrible human being. Was not a good person. Like, and the fact that we have people that are like, he was like, the first Catholic empire was Charlemagne's empire, the French Empire, the Western Empire. And they like to say that, they can claim what's left of the Roman Empire. Dude, the Romans suck. I don't think you understand. The Romans were terrible people. I want you to be aware of that. This argument trying to reinforce that we're Rome, no thank you. No thank you. The Romans were abysmal, inhumane, misogynistic, slave trading, child molesting, homosexual sodomiting, terrible human beings. They would kill people for fun. You understand that, right? They would feed other human beings to wild animals in a stadium called the Colosseum for entertainment. These are the people you think are great because they built buildings. And they didn't even invent any of that stuff. Like, they stole it. They were notorious for stealing everything. They even stole their alphabet. They stole their alphabet from a neighboring province. Latin comes from Latinus region, which is in Rome is not in Latinus. They sacked a city, enslaved the women and children, and forced them to teach them how to use their written language. That's how the Romans ended up with a written language. You know that, right? Like, These were not good people. We should not be glorifying these people whatsoever. If you're going to say, oh, it's the Roman Empire. Bibi, you're a terrible human being. The Likud movement is a nightmare for anybody who it sets its eyes upon. You're terrorists. Nobody wants to interact with the Likud people, AIPAC, who are also Likud people, or anybody involved with Ben Shapiro's people, literally because you're terrorists. Like your dictionary, open the dictionary definition to the T, terrorists. And there's no discussion. You don't even deny it. Like, you're proud of being a terrorist. And if we're going to say that we're, a civilized, advanced civilization and we're more sophisticated than, 2,000 years ago, and we want to be further ahead, while you're over here glorifying that you're like Rome and the Jerusalem from 2,000 years ago. Well, the first Christian was crucified by Romans and Jews in 2000. Or not necessarily Jews, but different religion. They crucified by Pharisees, the heretics. That even Spinoza would be embarrassed by. The Holy Sepulchre. Like, this is archaic human-made stuff that you guys are obsessed with. And it's embarrassing. I get it. The cathedrals are cool. The Gothic cathedrals are really beautiful. It's a beautiful architecture. That's where my interest in old Christianity stops. I'm a Baptist. This idea that, we should glorify the Roman Empire at any point in time is atrocious. It's embarrassing to interact with anybody who thinks that, they'll say, oh, we're originally pagans. Irregardless of what these people believed, they raped children. They practiced raping children because it made them harder. It made them better soldiers. That is the reasoning behind the raping of the boys. They sodomized boys to turn them into better soldiers, so they said. And if you weren't aware of this, legionnaires were sodomized when they were kids to turn them into legionnaires. Yeah, that's disgusting. It's revolting what they did. And these people are glorifying, oh, we want to form legions against yada, 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 so we can have this holy war. No, thank you. I'm not participating in your mass delusions and mass psychosis. No, thank you. This rape of children is what these people are advocating. So if you want to go P1, P2, P3, move along. That is disgusting, first of all, and that's a nightmare. I can't imagine what those boys think about. Like, you can imagine, oh, it hardens them up. Look how big they grow. Are you serious? That's not civilization. How is that civilization? You want to go all the way back to the people who had to use slaves for everything and call that civilization? Who's civilized in that scenario? Like, that's barbaric. And why is this important? Because we're glorifying the Pope, and the Pope is inviting the very people who recommend this course of action into our countries. This Catholic nationalism is the crust of the issue. The people they were bringing in are openly advocating for a return to the Roman methodology of creating soldiers, militaries, and militarism. That is insane. Our Pope was involved. Not this Pope. I'm sure this Pope agrees with it too, because he's indicated as such that we need to take in people against our own best interests. And these people that we bring in are 100% on board with this Romanification of the United States, and I don't agree with this at all. I don't want any of this in my country. There's a very real reason why we stood against it in the first place, because they want to rape children, to condition them to suffering so they could turn them into quote-unquote better soldiers. That is delusional. I got called crazy for pointing that out. I was labeled as being mentally ill for saying that philosophy is crazy. I'm in my own hometown, and there are a lot of Catholics here who believe that system should be in place. Here. You hear them all the time. They're constantly very aggressive towards me. I hear it all the time. And some of them even call me a girl because I don't think that's a good idea. Because I think that's a nightmare scenario for anybody. I've been called a girl because I think raping children is not the right answer.